all, and today is my late September wrap-up and TBR, and October TBR. Well, in September I read 3 books. I read Dracula by Bram Stoker, and this is about I listened to it on an audiobook, so this is about a vampire named Dracula, and how this main character goes and how they experience Dracula. His main character, John, goes to the house of Dracula and to do some business with him, and all these other characters have communicate with Dracula, or not communicate, experience, have more experience with Dracula, and they plan to kill him in the end. So this book is a 5 out of 5 in my opinion. It's really good, and I did do a video review on the audiobook, and you can check that in one of my videos if you watch my videos. The next book I read was What My Mother Doesn't Know by Sonia Sones, and this one was a 3 out of 5. I didn't really like it that much, and as you can see, it is written in poetry, which is really awesome. I do like the poetry part of it, but I did not like the whole complete story and the characters. So this one I rated 3 out of 5. It was okay. The next one I read is the sequel of Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, and that one I gave 4 out of 5. And both of those books I have had reviews on. Now for the movies I watched. I watched 18 movies in September. First movie I watched was Identity Thief Identity Thief is a movie about a girl who steals a guy's identity, and, he finds out, and he tries to find her, and they have, adventures together and stuff. And that one was a C-, because although it was supposed to be a comedy, it made me cry, and, yeah, not really going for that. The second movie, I watched was G.I. Joe 2. This one is an action-packed movie about it's a sequel to G.I. Joe 1, and I thought it was pretty good. It was B- because some of the plot I didn't really understand all of that, because I'm not really a huge G.I. Joe fan, so yeah. Number 3. The third movie I watched was The Birds. And The Birds is obviously by Alfred Hitchcock, and that one was really, really good. It was about a girl who comes into town, and the birds start attacking this little small rural town, and this one I rated a B. It was a really good movie. The next movie I watched, the fourth movie I watched, is Shadow of Doubt, or something like that. And this is another Hitchcock movie, and it is a black and white movie, and it's about a girl who figures out, or has some suspense that her uncle is killing people, and she's kind of getting those ideas in her mind. And this one is I rated it a D, because I did not like the character, and I didn't think it was implemented very well. Number 5 is the next movie I saw in the theaters, and it was the Mortal Instruments City of Bones movie. This one was actually pretty good, although it does have the same, I do believe that it does have the same kind of YA standards, where in movies where you have a guy and then you have a love triangle and all that. So, but I rated it a B because I didn't really like the love triangle that much. I thought it was too over the top, and but I did like some of the parts of it and stuff. So I did like the action and stuff. The sixth movie I watched was Vertigo, another really good Hitchcock movie. This is about a guy who's afraid of heights, traumatized because of an accident that happened while he was working as a detective, and he experiences vertigo. And so when he's up high, he has that fear of falling and stuff like that. But it's also got really interesting on other aspects. He meets this girl, and they form a relationship. And yeah, it's really, really good. And, you know, she pretends kind of to be this girl, and then he meets another girl, and she looks exactly like the other girl that died. And yeah, it's just a really good movie, and you guys should check that out. And that one I rated an A because of an excellent, you know, twists and turns. So if you haven't checked that out, you should. The next movie I watched, it was Spring Breakers. Now, Spring Breakers is a movie about, it's about 4 girls, and they basically go to this party, save enough money to go to this party, and they party, and then they get in trouble and thrown into jail, and then this guy, random guy, saves them, and like, you think something's gonna happen in this movie, but it doesn't. It's just bad movie. Don't ever watch it. I rated this an F minus, even though you could never get an F minus in anything, but yep, you can get it in here. The next movie I watched was Jack the Giant Slayer. And Jack the Giant Slayer is really, really, I thought it was really good. It was just a retelling of Jack the Beanstalk, and it had a little bit of other twists in the movie. And this was a B minus. The next movie I watched was Admission. Admission is a really excellent movie. Admission is about a girl who runs the admission. She's an admission coordinator at a university. So she looks at students and figures out who to accept and who to deny. And there's a lot of like stereotyping, very like, oh, they must be achievers and they must, you know, and so there's different qualifying aspects to make them qualified. Well, she meets this guy in a small town, and he runs a small school, you know, just a small high school, and he wants her to speak, and she ends up speaking, and there's more relationship building also in this movie, so I really liked it, and it was an A. The next movie I watched was Pacific Rim.